So yesterday, I'm trying to find a list. I'll have it by tomorrow. I'm assuming a vocabulary list. So what I want you to do to make cards. But until then, I thought you could sit to this morning for about 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and make study cards right now so that you have this vocabulary words in your mind. The vocabulary words I need you to get together are covalent, bonds, two ionic bonds, and I want to remind you that these are associations. Three, I'd like you to make sure you understand what a compound is. Four, what an element is. Five, how do you know how many electrons an atom has if you are given proton number and charge. So make an index card for that. And you don't need a card. You can take a piece of paper and cut it into fours or sixes and write the stuff on the paper. Cut it out. I have scissors, and then you have your cards. They may not be card. If you want me to get card stock, so that you can cut up almost like cardboard, you can cut up the card stock. If I have colored card stock, would you like that? All right, so I can go get that, and then you can use that instead of just regular paper. So covalent bonds, ionic bonds, a compound, an element. Why bonds are formed. There's two rules. 1, 2, right? 7. There's just gonna be 10 cards. That's all we're gonna have, just 10 cards. I think 10's reasonable, right? Is that a reasonable number? Okay, very good. The mass, how to determine the mass, A, the mass, B, the proton number, C, the electron number, given the other two of these three. And 8, how do you know how many valence electrons an atom has? And a clue, periodic table. Yeah. Okay? Here? That good? 9. What is a salt? 10. What is an ion? All right. So if you know these 10 things, we're ready to move on. Okay? Can you see everything there that you need? Does one of you three want to come over here and zoom in if somebody needs to zoom in? Do you know how to use zoom in and zoom out? Yeah? Zoom in. Like, look. Zoom in, zoom out. Zoom in, zoom out. All right. I'm going to go get you the cardstock. Scissors are here. Grab scissors. Start looking. Make sure you have a good definition. I'll be right back. It's not paper, it's stiffer. Because I want the kids to make some index cards, but I don't have the cardstock in the room. I don't care what color, but just pick one color, because I need like a whole ream, a whole big thing, okay? Here, let me give you the office pass. Let me give you the office pass.
What is she doing? What? Oh.
So you guys can start writing down. What definition would you use for why are bonds formed? Why do atoms form bonds? I can't hear. Not enough electrons where? In the outer shell. So you want a full outer shell. So that's good. You understood the idea. You just got to get that. So you want a full valence shell. It's called the octet rule. Because most of the shells have 8, right? But only the first shell only has 2. But that's just a catch. What's the other rule? Atoms want to be what? Full outer shell. The other one, it's in your notes somewhere. You can find it. If you can't find it after like 5-10 minutes, I'll tell you. How to determine mass, proton number, electron number. If you're given the other 2, you should be able to do that. It should be in your notes. How do you know how many valence electrons an atom has? Who knows that? No, that's how many they want to have. How many do they have?
2.
No. How do you find out? Everyone is different. How do you find out? The clue is the periodic table. Where do you look on the periodic table? The top column. The column number. The ones place of the column number. So if it's in the first column, it's 1 electron in the outer shell. If it's the second column, it's 2. We don't count the middle section, right? So remember that. What's a salt? It's from yesterday. When an atom on one side of the periodic table, on the far right, either group 6 or 7, bonds with group 1 or 2. So sodium and chloride, lithium and chloride, right? We went through that list yesterday, correct? All right. So I'm getting the cards, I'm getting you cardstock, or somebody's getting you cardstock now. So just so I'm clear, because I'm saying it and I'm feeling like, I have to find the periodic table, there it is. What I mean is, if any element from this column here or this column here bonds with this column or this column, so these two columns or these two columns, they're going to form a salt, an ionic compound. An ionic compound is also known as a what? Salt. So you might want to add that to your card. So this is the reason why I'm making you do index cards, because you don't know, right? So it's okay you don't know, but get it written down and know it. Okay? Somebody said that we're going to have homework this weekend. In a way, you will. You have to know this stuff by next week. You're going to have a test on next week on this stuff.
Monday?
No, it won't be Monday, but it'll be sometime next week. I have to look at the schedule. I'm still planning. So give me a little, probably till tomorrow. So I'll be working on that probably the rest of your period today. But what you want to do is you want to know these 10 things so that you can at least that's half the test. That's half the test. You're going to have some more information. We're going to have to know about water, and you have to know about one more type of bonding that we haven't talked about yet. But we'll get there. Okay? All right?
Yeah.
It's not that hard. You just got to memorize this stuff. We've been working on this for a while. It's all the answers are in your notes. Okay? Because I don't want anybody confusing this. On this number 7, again, number 7, oops, hold on a second. I know it's a little neurotic, I apologize. For number 7, you're probably going to want to add D, you're going to want to add charge. All right. So you have to know, if you want the electron number, you need to know the proton number. You need to know the proton number and the charge on the atom or molecule in order to know what the total what the charge is on this atom. Does that make sense? So you need 2 to find the third. In all of these, you need 2 to find the third. So if you want the electron number, you need the proton number and the charge. If you want the mass number, you need the proton number and the neutron number, etc. Are we clear? Yeah.
So like for the first 5, like we just write the name in the definition?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I come up and get a piece of paper?
Yeah, yeah, you can come and get it. Now, here's something somebody said in last class, which I love their idea. So I'm just recording this so I'm sure it's emphasized. You guys, when you're writing the definition, you can divide on the definition side, right? You have the word covalent bond on one side. On the other side, you have the definition. You can divide that card in half and put an example of a covalent bond, an example of an ionic bond. Yeah, yeah.
For number 5, after the hashtag, is that what?
And proton number and charge. It's an ampersand. It's a shorthand way of writing ampersand.
All